Nachos.
Being a dentist is not easy. So many of the things that we do, patients just simply don't want, and I don't blame them. But as a dentist of 19 years, I've noticed that straightening your teeth, smiling, looking better is very popular with our patients. I have the awesome Dr. Ryan Marson here, a fellow dentist like me, who's going to share with us how OrthoFX can help reduce friction for you and your patients with clear aligner therapy. Ryan, thanks for being on Dental Nachos TV with us. Tell us a little bit about your dentisting life.
Thank you so much, Paul. Thanks for having me. I'm a general dentist out of Omaha, Nebraska. I graduated in 2014. Was an associate for a few years. Finally bought my own practice back in August of 2019.
Congratulations!
So,
I want to interject. Having a practice, not stressful at all, right? Very easy.
Not at all. No.
Yeah. I always say I have a 3-year-old that lives in my house. It's like having a 3-year-old child that never grows up. I mean, it's awesome to have a 3-year-old, but it's also exhausting. I think dental practices behave that way. But congratulations on doing that. That's really, really great. So you're a practice owner in Omaha, Nebraska.
Yes,
you're
sir.
in your practice today. Share with us, you've been out of dentistry about 7 years or so, I guess, or 7 years. So early in your career, but still getting experience. Share with us how OrthoFX has helped you increase success, decrease stress with your practice model.
Absolutely. So I signed up with OrthoFX a few years ago. That's where at-home aligner therapy was getting super popular.
Okay.
I had a lot of patients in my chair, saying, "No, I'm starting to do at-home therapy and things like that." And I was kind of looking for that hybrid of, is there a way where I could do aligners in my office, but maybe send trays to a patient's address?
Right.
Because that's what was happening. I had a patient moved to Nashville in the middle of therapy. I drove to the UPS store to send her trays. It's you're trying to do to keep the patient happy. And that's when I came across when OrthoFX launched, and I signed up and I gave it a try, and they were really cool about it. They didn't make you exclusively use OrthoFX. Right. They were like, you could do whatever you want. And I thought that was a really cool sign.
I like that. That's great. So basically, I'm in Philadelphia. My favorite movie is Philadelphia. Denzel Washington says in that movie, explain it to me like I'm a 4-year-old. If you're a practice owner watching this, or
good reference, Paul.
Thanks. OrthoFX does clear aligner therapy, and you find how has this helped your team?
Absolutely.
Getting more case acceptance. We all want more case acceptance to help patients be productive, patient-centered production. But you made a really good point. We were talking before. It's not just the dentist; it's the team. Tell us a little.
It's not. You're exactly right. A patient decision to sign up for clear aligners, it's not cheap. Right. It's a big decision. Takes a lot of time. It's a big journey for a patient to say yes. And the way me and my staff, which I think a lot of offices would agree, I don't get the patient to say yes.
Right.
I will explain the benefits of clear aligner therapy, how I'll talk for forever, how great it can be. But when I leave the room, it's the dental assistant, the front, the hygienist. That's who gets the patient.
Well, they're the normal people in the office.
Exactly.
We're the weird dentists, and they look, I do a lot with implants, and I'll talk about all these implant cases. I'll say, Mrs. Smith, I've helped so many people. You can snap your teeth in and out. You keep in. They say, yeah. I leave, and they turn to my assistant and says, is this guy telling the truth? I'm like, so
exactly.
I think it's such a valuable piece you're sharing, not just with clear aligner therapy, but just case acceptance in general. Tell us, is it inspiring your team to see these patients go through this treatment? How does your team kind of join in on the fun with this?
Absolutely. So it actually, with the services that come with OrthoFX for no additional charge, it's all within the lab bill. When we look back at what caused patients to say no, or maybe it was difficult for the staff to talk to the patient about getting an insurance verification. It's, especially when it comes to ortho benefits, it's really confusing.
So I just want to pause, I don't know if you're married, but I don't interrupt my wife. I just interject with good ideas. So I'm just interjecting but I want to bring something to life as a 19-year dentist. So OrthoFX will actually help you pre-authorize the case and find out, JF just found, which seems to be a huge win, because that can be a real momentum killer for cases.
Huge. What got me excited to sign up for OrthoFX was they are an extension of our staff. And that's what got my staff excited when we met with them to decide if we signed up, because when we partner with people, we like to really feel like they're in the trenches with us.
Yeah.
And that's where we felt like OrthoFX was. So if a patient's interested, you don't even need to take records. You don't need to do anything. There's a referral portal. Nice. On OrthoFX's doctor portal. You put the name, address, phone number, and then you upload the insurance information. That gets sent to the OrthoFX customer success team, and there's no extra fee to do this.
Yeah.
They will call the insurance, get any coverage. They will then call the patient on behalf of our office and go over the estimate. They even have their own financing program. So then they'll go over the financing and everything. It's happened a lot when OrthoFX will then call us. Hey, I talked to James the other day and he applied for financing, got approved. There's
Nice.
insurance coverage. He's ready for records.
I love all this. I want to share, I spend a lot of time trying to bring awareness to the reality of dental insurance. And sometimes I say, at best, it's a coupon. At worst, it's a scam. But now let's go with that best with the coupon. Someone on this call just got a coupon for a case of wine, and she was incentivized to get this great wine deal with the coupon. Coupons can help you make good decisions. If a fitness class has 25% off your first class and you actually go and work out, that's great. So go bring it back here with the coupon of insurance helping the patients pay towards ortho. Have you seen people accept this that probably wouldn't have accepted it otherwise?
Huge. And it's really helpful because when I or my staff talk to the patient about this treatment, we say that it's one company. It's one company that makes your trays. It's one company that does the financing. It's one company that does the insurance verification for you.
Nice.
And there's a lot of, with other brands, there's a lot of hidden fees that oftentimes the dentist would write off themselves. So if a patient loses a tray, with other companies, like in the past, what I've done is you got to pay for that tray.
Yeah.
Where with OrthoFX, they don't.
That's great. I love that JBN mentality. You were telling me some other things. Tell me some of their cool bonus toppings. You said something about a rescue aligner. How does that work?
Absolutely. So if we talk clinical, definitely the trays are clearer than other name brand. I have seen that in my chair. I have actually several staff members in treatment right now, and it's more stain resistant, more clear, but I'm seeing less refinements at the end.
Oh, cool.
And also, if let's say a patient isn't tracking, they did come out with a rescue aligner this year, which has elasticity to the aligner. So let's say we want to get the patient back to tray 8, but they're off track. We will then send them the rescue aligner for tray 8, ship it to their house. They don't have to come in.
Nice.
They wear it for usually around 2 weeks, and then it will get them back into tray 8. It's their own patented process.
A couple things there I want to bring to light is what's great is that I joke with my patients. They say I have to come back. I go, don't you like seeing me, Mrs. Smith? It makes you feel bad. But in this nacho nuts dental world, pre-COVID, but especially with COVID, an office visit has created so much challenge now that when you can just not have to have someone come in and you can use teledentistry. So how is teledentistry used with OrthoFX? Because you mentioned that as well.
Yep. They have their own monitoring service called FX on Track, allows the patient. And then once again, it's all in the patient app, patient portal. It's one company where they can upload pictures to us. We can do a teledentistry visit. We can make sure that the aligners are fitting and that they're tracking, where they don't have to come in. It's exactly right. COVID's really made, I really don't want to come in right now, or maybe I'm dealing with an exposure, but I need my new trays. There's so many factors now that go into life.
And I mean, it's an important point because we sometimes forget what it's like to be a patient. You have like some rash on your hand. You want to just send the picture to your dermatologist. When the team says, come in, sit in the waiting room, it's not that you don't want to see them. It's just that we're all super busy people.
Exactly.
We can find the answer. Well, you've shared so much great value here. OrthoFX, we're proud to have you guys as a sponsor. I've learned stuff listening to you. But as we wrap up, I believe your morale counts too, Dr. Ryan. So I know you talked about your team, you talked about your patients, but as a dentist, whether it's your creativity, whether it's your profitability, whether it's your morale, how does this help you with your daily Dr. Ryan life in the practice?
For me, it reduces friction for my staff to get the patient to say yes, and it makes it easier for the patient to get into treatment. There's a reason why these at-home aligner therapies are super popular. It's because a lot of people want straight teeth.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, to do it within the office can be tricky. OrthoFX allows the patient to get into treatment easier,
I love that.
Which makes me and my staff happy.
Everyone deserves wins at any time on earth, but especially this time with all the things going on, we give our patients a win of just smiling better, feeling better.
Oh, yeah.
That really is cool. I mean, I've been a dentist for 19 years. I'm over 19 years of people ever thanking me for a class 2, right? I don't know if it's going to happen. I'm waiting. But when you can do something to literally make their teeth easier to clean, to make them smile better, it's awesome. So if someone was watching this and said, hey, I'd like to learn more about OrthoFX, what's the best way for them to reach out, Dr. Ryan?
There's a website, orthofx.com/nachos. They'll be able to lead you to contact OrthoFX as a company. They can get you signed up. It was easy for me. I'm sure it's easier now. It's really a great product to offer your patients in your office. Your staff will be happy, I promise.
Awesome, everyone. Well, thanks for being on with me. If anyone has any questions about our awesome key resource and sponsor, OrthoFX, they can